Okay, good morning, class. I think we start our class now. Still have a lot of students haven't come in. Never mind, we start our class now lah. Okay, so today is lecture 4. Okay, so for those who haven't scanned your attendance, remember to scan so that your attendance is being recorded lah in the system. Okay. So we will start lecture 4. Okay, so today we are still on the topic number 2 now, because I'm teaching you topic 1 and 2. So we are still at the beginning of the VM and VE study to understand. Before you move to topic number 3 and 4, that one will be by Mr. Surveyor Li Ziqian. Okay, so our topic 2 lecture today will be on the subtopic of clients and better construction briefing, and also North America value engineering practice. So these 2 parts only. Okay, all right. So as mentioned, the critical success factor for the value management is, one of it is a client briefing, right? Meaning the client objective is very clear for the value management. Okay, so what VMTC have to do is he have to make sure that the client give a very clear objective of the study, or why he want to conduct VM study, and then what is his purpose, goal for the project, right? So this one, that's why client briefing is mentioned here. That's why the client briefing is emphasized here. Okay, so that's why we have to understand. So basically, client briefing is also known as architectural programming. Or why it mentioned about architectural programming? Because basically, architect, they have to know what is the concept that client want for the project, right? What is the purpose of the development, right? And also what is the goal that the client set, right? For the project development, what is his needs and wants for the project, right? What is his requirement, right? So that's why before architect start to design, he have to make sure what is the scope need to be captured, or what is scope need to be included in the design, right? So that's why it's also known as architectural programming. Okay, basically architect have to list down, or have to sit together with the client to list down whatever the scope are needed in the project. Okay, so basically is a client briefing is a process of identifying and articulating client's requirement in the early design stage. Okay, so that's why it's important. Or if client's requirement is not clear, client's objective for the project is not clear, then basically project won't be successful lah, because client don't even know what he wants for the project, right? Okay, and is critical to the project success and the satisfaction of the clients and other stakeholders. So that's why this is one of the subtopic for the topic number 2 lah, client briefing. Okay, all right. So what are the common problems? Common problems happen in client briefing. Or this client briefing can be like in the strategic briefing, or it can be like project briefing. And also during the VM study briefing. In the initial of the project, client will do briefing, or or even in the value management study, the client also have to do briefing to the VMTC, right? So what are the common problems? Or it's not sufficiently explicit, meaning not clear, or not clear. So not clear, then how VMTC can convey the message to the VM team, right? Firstly, of course, client and will engage a VMTC, right? The leader, and then start to mention what is his problem for the project, and then what is he wants and need for the project. What is his goal? What is his direction for the project? So if it is not clear, then VMTC, when he guide the VM team during the workshop, or the direction is also not clear. Okay, so this is first problem, not sufficiently explicit. Second, inadequate involvement of relevant stakeholders. Also, this one can be solved by managing the multiple stakeholders in the briefing process. Is one of the key to ensure value for money for the project. So VM value management come in able to solve this problem number 2, whereby the VM team sit together and then they start to discuss the problems, the things in the project. This is how VM able to build the team and then involve all relevant stakeholders in. Also, that's why clients briefing somehow have to involve. Okay. So next is how to improve the quality of briefing, or meaning clients briefing. Okay. So firstly, establish the needs to build. This is the most important one. The client, he have to establish what the needs to build for the project. Is it really necessary for this development to be happen? Also, there must be a market survey, right? So establish the needs to build, and then commit adequate resources. Also meaning if you need any stakeholders in, please let the stakeholders come in to brief, to work together, or give you opinion. Commit adequate resources. Manage the process, or manage the client briefing process. Make sure the message and information is clearly being conveyed. Or either they do it in one meeting, 2 meeting. So that's why you have something like client consultant briefing, right? Or client consultant meeting, or somehow have to be a few rounds so that the consultant can kick off the project, right? And then use formal information gathering methods where appropriate. So information have to be in, or meetings need to be recorded, right? So that whatever information is captured. Okay, and then involve the end user. So this is what seldom being emphasized. Involve the end user, because if the client, he developed the project and then he want to sell to the purchaser, so if the needs of the end user is not captured, then the project won't be a success, right? So this is actually important. Involve the end user. So that's why a market survey always have to be done before a project development carry on. Okay. and then adopt an approach appropriate to the project. Or meaning like procurement, or the contracting, the appointment of the consultant, or the procurement of the project. Is it a traditional method? Is it a management contracting method? Or is it construction management method? Or design and build? Adopt approach, appropriate approach. Okay, so this is all the what have to be decided by the client, and then during the client briefing. And also ensure clear communication or what the client's organization want, what is the strategic goal they want to achieve for the project. They have to convey to the designer, to the VMTC. Okay, and then encourage good teamwork. Also, this is also one of the important factors in the project. Or if the designer, they are not having a good teamwork, or like engineer, right? Engineer, CNS engineer, M&E engineer, and architect, they are not cooperating, they are not communicating for the design, then confirm the project will have some issue. Also, this is what a good client briefing they need to emphasize on. Good client briefing or good construction briefing. They have to emphasize on all of these factors to make sure the project is success. Okay, and the most important thing is this one: establish the needs to build. All this is will cause the success or failure of the project. Market study have to be done, or client is very confident that this development is able to give a good impact to the industry, right? The needs to build. There must be a reason for the development, right? Cannot say I want to build this project, but I don't know why. Or there must be some market demands for it, right? So establish the needs to build. Most important things is client knows what he wants, what he needs for the project. Because this is relevant to his profit or his organization mission goals, right? Okay, so that's why a good clients and better construction briefing have to emphasize on the needs to build. Okay, and that's why the understanding of the drivers for change and the reasons for development, or meaning why you want to develop and what is the drivers to change for the change in client's organization. There must be you have to know, like a big organization, they have to sustain. If they want to sustain in the market, they have to be able to change following the trend of the market, right? So these two drivers for change and reasons for the development will ensure the is the fundamental to ensure the maximum value for the project. Okay, a big organization, you know, like Setia, right? EcoWorld, Kerjaya Prospect, a lot lah. Okay, if they want to sustain the market, right, in a competitive construction market or in a competitive property development market, they must know what they need in the market, the reason for the development, okay, and drivers for change. Okay, so we move on to drivers for change. Okay, move on to drivers for change. So it's a strategy. It's a strategy of the client in a competitive environment. Okay, if they want to sustain, if they want to be the big main player in the market, they have to strategize. They have to do their strategy. That's why you have, if they have a big piece of land, how they are going to build, what they are going to build. Residential, mixed development, or industrial, or commercial. So what is the strategy? Which project to start first? Is it residential or is it commercial start first? That's why you have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase by phase, the project for a big landed township. What is the strategy? Okay, and also bring to market a new product. So is it they want to impress the market with new things, new design, right? You can see that a lot of residential building have a new design concept, right? Yeah, especially the one like Eco World, right? Or you can see a lot of advertising in the social media. Okay, they are bringing new design, new concept, right? It's a bit off tradition. It is a new product. Okay, then provide a current product in a more efficient manner. So something like you are providing a better technology advanced building, or better lift, or better system in the building, or like security, right? Like communication system in the building, more efficient manner. Okay, and then enhance a current product or improvement. Is it any better facility concept or better recreational facility for the end user? Okay, a better material use. Okay, and then is it you are continue production? Meaning you can see that this design concept being accepted and being market can accept it, and then market they like it, and you continue the production. Same design concept in another phase of the land. So you continue production. Okay, and then satisfy a regulatory safety and security needs. So this is possible when any government change the regulation. That's why they have to change direction. Meaning the client they have to change their strategy to meet the regulatory needs. Okay, is it safety security needs is also improved, need to be improved. And previously we normally don't have a guard house, right, for a township or for a residential area, right? So now safety is one of the issue concerned by many people, especially those living in landed one, right? So to make the residential building sell better, so they have to emphasize on the safety and security for the landed residential development. Because you know that landed always have robbery, right, issue. So this is safety issue that is very concerned. Okay, so drivers will change. And then reduce operating costs. This is especially the client, they are the either they are the end user of the building, or they are actually doing the building is a commercial one, right? They have to reduce the operating costs, like shopping mall, like hotel, right? They have to run the business, so that's why in long term they want to reduce the operating costs or energy costs, okay, the staff costs, right? So that's why they want to make a change. And then discontinue a current product. Also, any product that is not favored in the market, any design concept that is old-fashioned, discontinue. Okay, drivers for change. Okay, so you need these drivers for change for the project success. Okay, so in dealing with projects, right, the client of organization should be confident of the answers to the following questions. So this one is related to the reasons for development. So if the client in a BM study or in any construction project briefing with the client, with the consultants, or with the consultants and designers, so he have to answer these 4 questions. What are the goals of this project? And then what is the definition and scope of this project? Okay, and then what is the investment needed and what is the purpose of this project? So he must be able to answer this question. If he don't know how to answer, then I think this project, basically client don't know what he is building. Okay, and then does this project fit the strategic plan of the organization? Okay, still stick back to the client's organization. Okay, is this project that dependent on other projects? So meaning, is it the project interrelated with other project? Meaning, is it phase 1, phase 2 is interrelated? Okay, is it a township project? Okay, and then is this project competing with other projects? So basically, market study have to be done, okay, by the client organization. Okay, what resources are required to investigate? And can those resources be made available? Or is it any specific system required for the building? Or what is the specialist needed for the project? So that's why they have to know any requirement. The client know what he wants for the project, or any requirement. So with the requirement, they know what resources they need. Is it they need a specialist labor to come in? If they have a special design feature. Okay. So this is related to the reasons for development. Just now we go through is drivers, right? Drivers for change. So this one is related to reasons for development. So with these 2 being answered, right, then clients briefing will be more clear, more explicit. Okay, because he is able to answer this question, and then he is very sure what he is the drivers for change in his development. Okay, is it we want to bring a new design to the market? This is what he hoped for. If this is what he hoped for the project, then architect can design a new concept for the building. Okay, is it he want a more efficient product? If this is what he wants, then the architect have to include it in the design. Okay, is it he want to have a better safety and security needs for the project? Okay, if this is one, then this is what he wants, then architect have to include in like guardhouse in the development. Okay, and then is it they want to continue production? Is it the same design concept from the previous phase, or they want to discontinue a certain traditional design way? So this is have to be answered by the client. Okay, so if client knows what is the drivers for change in this project, and he is very confident with goals, purpose, definition, what is his competitors doing, right? And confirm, this client, he is ready, ready to stand in the market to strategize his project. Okay. All right. Then we comes to this arising problems by improper management of project stakeholders. So this is the problem number 2. Just now we have first problem is the client briefing is not clear, right? Okay. Second problem is improper. You have inadequate. Okay. Inadequate involvement of relevant stakeholders. Okay. So that's why we come to this arising problem by improper management of project stakeholders. Okay, so this is what client have to concern. Okay, he have to make sure his team, his project team, his consultant is clear on what he wants, what he needs. So this is arising problem if they improper management. Okay. So first is failure to have comprehensive and clear definition of project success. So this one is life or death, okay? And then poor scope and work definition. Or this all can be happen one. Or if the client the team is not properly managed, architect is not clear, engineer is not clear, QS is not clear on the work scope. Okay, so that's why the client briefing is important, right? Okay, so inadequate resources assigned to the project, or because they are not clear on the work scope, right? So that's why somehow a certain system is not included, a certain items element is not included in the project. When they realize it somehow is too late, that's why this will happen. And then unaware of regulatory changes. Okay, so somehow client already briefed the project stakeholders on any changes by the government, but the project stakeholder didn't take into account. Also, this will happen. And then negative community reaction. Also, meaning they mostly are discouraged, or the design team, the project team, they have their way of the attitude towards the project or they are not really eager. Okay, and then you have delays and cost overrun. Okay, this will happen when due to starting, right? There is no clear definition or poor scope of work. Okay, that's why this will affect cost overrun and delays. Okay, so at the end, the project will not be successful. That's why VM comes in, that it will solve this problem, solve this improper management of project stakeholders. Especially the value management, they come in during the early stage of the project, meaning like concept design or value management already coming, or like project briefing stage, the value management team already coming. So the earlier they know, the earlier they come in, the earlier they're able to solve the problem, or the problem of the unclear client briefing, and also like the stakeholders, the project stakeholders management. Because you know that architect design his own, engineer design his own, M&E engineer design his own. So actually there is no interaction. There is less interaction. Architect finish design, then pass to CNS engineer. So CNS engineer continue design for structure, and then M&E engineer also at the same time design for the M&E item. So actually, everyone is busy. Everyone is doing their own job in their own office. So that's why if value management come in, they will have to sit together or discuss the scope of the project. Or after the client give briefing, then discussion can be made. Okay. All right. So VM comes in to manage the stakeholders is a viable solution in this regard. That's why, as I said, value management come in earlier. Then all of these people have to sit together. Architect, engineer, okay, QS, and a client. They have to sit together to discuss the scope of project, discuss the value, what is need to be improved for the project in the early stage already. So earlier coming, the earlier they come in, the earlier the project will success, the more cost saving can be made for the client. Okay, so these problems can be minimized if stakeholders are actively included in the front end planning. Or like I said, all of this problem happens during the early stage of project, whereby a client briefing is not clear, whereby the project stakeholder is further not clear on what to be included in the project. Okay, that's why VM coming. Okay, and a systematic approach is used to manage stakeholders in the project delivery process. Okay, VM coming. Okay, so the purpose of the project needs to be understood. Okay, hidden agenda need to be brought to surface. Okay, project priority established, and then feedback from stakeholders be solicited. Okay, it is like a client consultant meeting, but you know that client consultant meeting somehow a lot of issue is not being studied, or a lot of hidden agenda is not surfaced. Okay, somehow what they discuss is more towards the surface design only. Okay, so use VM or use VM so that they know the purpose, they know the hidden agenda, they know the project priority. Because you know that VM is a strategic process, it's a structured process. Or the consultant client meeting, you don't have a process. You don't have a standard process or procedure. But value management, he have a standard process and procedure. So that's why step by step, this issue can be solved because you have step by step procedure in VM. Okay. And then ensure a balanced view from the outcome perspective of all major stakeholders. So VM, you have to identify the problems, the issue, the value, the unnecessary cost in the project, right? And further on, they will suggest alternative, and then further on, they will choose the best ideas, right? Choose the best proposal for the project, and then further on, they will get client to approve, and then they will implement it. So this is the difference, value management with the normal consultant client briefing, step by step, as I mentioned. Okay. All right. Through VM, a complete team of influential and knowledgeable stakeholders can be produced. So actually, through the process, VM process, the team, the VM team, value management team, they actually have a more fruitful experience. They tend to be more clear on the project. Okay, that's why I mentioned here. Okay, so 3 steps involved, right, to use VM to manage the stakeholders. Okay, VM is used to manage multiple stakeholders. Also, there is a 3 step here. Identify stakeholders, and then assess the stakeholders, and then you manage the relations with stakeholders. So basically, this one is done by the VMTC or VMTC. So at the beginning of the project, at the beginning of the value management study, you know that VMTC, he have to choose his VM team members, right? Or he have to get the members come in to join the value management study. So that's why the stakeholders in the VM study is important. Or you have to get the right candidate in. It's just like a committee lah, or your like society, your society, your clubs, you want to get a committee member in, right? So that's why you have to identify who to come in, or who to join the team. Okay, and then you assess the stakeholders. So meaning, is it he qualified? Is it his commitment? Is it okay? Is it his interest in the VM study is strong? Okay, and then third is manage relationship. So how to identify the stakeholders? Okay, the first step, identify stakeholders. How to identify? So basically in VM, this is something like a standard one they develop. Okay, using ACID test or using ACID test, ACID. Or the ACID is basically it's a terms only. Okay, it's a terms from here. A is authorize, C is consult, okay, I is inform, and then D is do. Also, VMTC, they use this four things: authorize, consult, inform, and do to choose the members or VM team members. That's why here is ASIC test is selecting the team. Okay. So the VSL, actually just is same person as VMTC, huh? The leader, okay, the leader should work with the client in selecting value study team members. Okay, to include those representative of client organization, influential stakeholders, and construction practitioner relevant to the particular stage in the development of the project. Okay, so they are using this to select. Okay, and the factors that the leaders need to take into account is they must limit multiple representative. Okay, meaning like one organization, you only have one representative, or you cannot be like you have one architect, but you have 3 engineers from CNS. Or this will not be balanced, right? Or you cannot be you have 3 QS, then you have one architect and then one project manager. So you must make sure you must limit multiple representative. Okay, if you have one architect, then you get one engineer come in, one CNS, one M&E, right? Okay, cannot be a lot of members from certain groups, certain department. Okay, and then understand the hierarchy mix. You must know, is it the senior who come in, or is it your junior who come in, or their level, or their experience, their professional experience. Is it they are the experienced one? Okay, and then understand the relationship between team members. Or is it one member dependent financially on another member of the team? Also, meaning is it like architect and engineer, or is it this engineer is actually together with this architect, or is it they dependent on this architect to get the project? Or there is something like this one, or architect, then the client engage the architect, then the architect they have their own favor engineer lah, or that's why they will get the engineer in, recommend to the client. So this kind of relationship, the VMTC have to be clear lah. Okay, consider the completeness of the team. Is it any person, any stakeholder that they needed for the team, but it's not in? Is it they need to get an external expert in? Is it they need to get a supplier in, or end user in, or project manager in? Completeness of the team. Okay, so we come to this ASCID. Okay, ASCID. So authorize, or VMTC have to use these 4 things to choose the member. So authorize. So he have to get those who have the authority to take the decision in the team. Also meaning client representative have to be in, or client representative. Because this client representative will be the one who will know the part and parcel of the project. What is the needed items, needed elements, needed space, or the project concept. So he had to get someone who can make the decision to come in. Okay, and then consult. So he also have to make sure expert to become in, or expert, or like specialist, facility manager, okay, operation manager, hotel manager, or any person that needed their service, needed their advice, or in the value management study. So they have to get in. Okay, supplier. Okay, inform. Inform. So do not include those who have only to be informed of decision reached during the workshop. So meaning if a person who cannot commit or cannot fully commit, or any person that is not able to give suggestion, or there is no major task lah. There's no major task for him in the workshop, then you don't have to get them in. Or something like authority or the local authority, they are not useful in the VM study, so you do not include in. Okay, and then do include those who are carry out major tasks specified. Also meaning designer, or can be contractor, or if the value management comes in during construction stage. But if the values management study is during the design stage, of course you don't have to bring contractor in, or just designer. Okay, so we come to second step. After you identify those who should be your members, VM team members, right? You should do the assessment. Or the VMTC, VMTC. Or the reason why they want to assess is they want to know how committed is your member. It's like choosing a committee lah. How do you choose someone who is suitable? So this is the steps or commitments. This includes the assessment of commitments, interests, power, and needs and wants. Commitments of the members, and then interests of the members, and then the power, meaning that they are playing a major role in the project, or they are the smaller characters, the smaller key players in the project. And then what is the needs and wants of the client of the project. So these four VMTC they have to study on, because if you know, like 知己知彼嘛, right? Also, so this is the VM's the team leader have to know his members' character or attitude, then he will be able to control the workshop, or control the whole VM process, control the environment, the atmosphere of the workshop. That's why this have to be in. Okay, commitment. So this is one of the example of how you assess the commitment of the members. So basically, it's like tabulation of VMTC. They can prepare a table. Okay, key stakeholders. Who are they? Architect A. Is it he has a vigorous opposition, or is it he is likely to oppose? He is likely to accept the changes, criticism? Okay, indifference toward it. Will let it happen, will help it happen, or will make it happen? It's like study the characters of the key stakeholders. Okay, and then interest, assess the interest. Okay, architect A, what is his goal? What is his relationship with the other members? Is he having a good relationship, or is he friendly enough, or is he someone who is a bit strong, a bit uh, a bit ego, current relationship, and then what is expected of them, and then the attitude, is it okay, negative or positive, and then likely reaction if there is certain proposed changes to his design, an idea for action. Okay, so this is just an example of the how you assess the interest of the stakeholders. Okay, and then power. Okay, assess the power. Okay, is it a key player? Is it the one that you keep informed, or minimal effort, or keep satisfied? Or, so you have to assess, is it, if it's high or high power, then mostly is either developer or key player. Or level of interest is high, key player or keep informed. Okay, so assess of power to identify whether he is a major key player in the VM study. Okay, and then needs and wants for project. Or this one have to be assessed. So VMTC, he had to know the needs and wants for the project. Also, basically, he have to, after discuss with the client, right? After the client briefing, right? He have to basically generate the project function, meaning what is needed for the project. What is needed for the project? Okay, so this is an example. So as I said, function is normally described with a verb and a noun, right? One verb, one noun. But actually in real life, it's very hard to generate one verb and one noun only. So that's why you can see that there is like one verb, two noun, or one verb with three noun. So maybe 2 words to 5 words lah. Okay, so project function. So project is the highest hierarchy. Or you have project, you have a space within the project, then you have element, then you have component. You have 4 hierarchy, right? So this is the highest hierarchy, project. Okay, highest hierarchy, project. Okay, so VMTC have to generate the function after the client brief. What is his goal? What is his purpose? What is the definition and scope of the project? Okay, then this is important because at the end, the VMTC, he have to guide the stakeholders, the VM team, convey the client objective or client needs and wants for the VM study. Okay, so this is the major thing on project function. Okay, and then after that, he will construct into 4. Meaning he will basically categorize the function here, all of the function here, into this strategy needs, meaning client organization needs, meaning the project client needs for the project. Okay, secure environment, enhance facility, ensure user comfort. These are all like the goal of the project, right? The function needed in the project, the definition, the scope, the purpose of the project. All of these need. That's why it says strategy needs. Okay, and then also categorize into strategic ones, meaning the client's wants for the project. what is client wants for the project, including like please neighborhoods, transfer responsibility, protect existing building, secure funding, create value, provide recreational space, enhance communication. So this is what clients want or clients need for the project. Okay, and then also categorized into technical needs, technical ones, meaning in the design needs, or the design ones. So this is important. You make clear of this, then VM study, basically they have the correct direction. They know what to be included in the project. They know what to increase, what value to be increased in the VM study, or what to be prioritized, or what is the priority. Is it ensure user comfort, enhance facility? Is it more facility for the project? Is it more a better building material used for the project? Ensure user comfort. Okay, upgrade living standard. So is it they need to include certain like gym facility in the building? So these are the things. That's why generation of project function is important. Project concept, project definition, the scope of the project, the project purpose is all listed. Okay, meaning what clients want, client needs, what is the technical needs they need to be included, what is the technical ones need to be included. Okay, so this is important, needs and one for the project. Okay, so after that, normally when you have created the functions, created this function, either 2 words, 3 words, 4 words, 5 words, as I said, it will be arranged in a diagram. Arranged in a diagram. So this diagram will have a better picture. Better picture meaning the VMTC, they will arrange it according to the priority of the client, or like creating pleasing environment. So how to create pleasing environment? Okay, so it will like reduce deterioration and then minimize nuisance to public. Then how to upgrade living standard, reduce compliance, and then more recreational facility. So this is how they use this diagram to have better picture for the project lah. Okay, from left to right, asking how to create pleasing environment, how to upgrade living standard, how to improve user interface. By you ensure flexibility, by improve accessibility. Okay, and then from right to left, we'll ask why. Why you ensure flexibility, why you improve accessibility, okay, is to improve user interface. So meaning these are interrelated one, or these are interrelated one. Okay, so this you will learn week 5 onwards, so you will learn how to create this diagram. Okay. All right, so important on next and one. Okay, manage relations with stakeholders. Okay, so how, meaning the VMTC lah, he have to manage the relationship or with the stakeholders. Okay, so build relationship before they are needed. Maintain a balance between stakeholders' interests. Okay, and then seek slippers out as early as possible. Okay, so meaning those who cannot commit, or those are members, VM members who cannot commit. That's why you have to do assessment, right? You have to do the commitment assessment. If you know this member is not suitable in your committee, then you have to you don't make it a member, or don't make it a member, because you want someone that can contribute during the VM study. Also, that's why VMTC he have to identify who should be in, who should be out. Okay, who is suitable, who is not suitable, who is the key players, who is not the key players. Okay. Okay, be vigilant, carefully observant of changing attitude of stakeholders. Also, as I know, as you know, VMTC is the leader, or leader for the VM study team. So he had to control the workshop. He had to control the environment, the atmosphere of the VM study. So he have to be observer, basically. Okay, if something not right, or if two members they are having argument, then he have to quickly settle the conflict lah. Okay, and then maintain a frequent face-to-face contact. Okay, meaning because you want to have a good relation, so you have to make sure maintain a face-to-face contact. You are looking into, you are actually looking into the eyes of the VM team members, okay, to know what are they thinking, or are they okay with, or not okay with the situation. Okay, so basically you have these three, identify stakeholders, assess the stakeholders, and then manage relationship with stakeholders. So these are all done by the VMTC, with the help of client, with the help of client. Because you must know VMTC can be internal team member, or meaning internal own design team can be from internal team, also can be from external party, meaning client he engage a external person in to be the VMTC, and this VMTC he will guide the design team. Also, that's why sometimes VMTC they don't really know this person, so that's why VMTC need the client to help to especially do the assessment, assess the stakeholders, whether they are committed person or not committed person, whether they are the key players or they are not the key players. Right? This interest and then power. Okay, this all done by VMTC with the help of client. Okay. I know a bit hard for you all to imagine. Okay, you will learn more in week 5 when you start the workshop. Okay, so okay, we go to this video. Okay, we go to this video. The best co-living apartments in Asia. So you will watch this video and then you do the quiz. Or it's related to this. It is related to this. Identify the reason for development, or identify what client wants and need. Okay, so you can go through. Okay, so we watch this video and then you do the assessment. You do this quiz. Is to help you to know, to think more lah. Okay. So I attached the link here. You can open from here. Okay. Okay, so we watch this YouTube.
One thing I'm telling other managers right now is to try Monday.com. Monday.com is a platform to run.
Okay, so I will give you this video.
首尔的江南区。
Okay, so there's a translation.
首尔的江南区藏着一座钢筋混凝土打造的树屋，它是韩国出现的第一栋给年轻人的共享公寓。在这里，72户年轻人不仅每个人有自己的小房间，大家还可以一起共用厨房、影院、图书室，在客厅里面做瑜伽、看电影。Melody 是这座公寓的设计师，也是共享生活的推行人。在公寓一层被绿树环绕的客厅里面，我们见到了他。
So Treehouse is located in Gangnam, which is the financial center of Seoul. We have around 33% with a foreign background. We actually dip the concrete like this, around 600, so 60 centimeters. That's the depth of soil a tree needs to have to grow properly. So the trees have been alive. So the project began in 2017. We actually surveyed 395 people, millennials, and the results were that people would not mind sharing the laundry. They would mind sharing the bathroom. They would like services such as linen, even the kitchen. So based on these results, we started to know what to take out of the units and put into the community space. The conditions for renting in Korea are very special. It's a typical scenario that you have to pay 10 months to 1 year of deposit. So many young people, they cannot afford to to enter the rental market. We have just a 2-month deposit. The rent is around $1,200. We aim for about 30%, 35% of the salary, but with all of these additional things included.
作为一个带着狗狗租房子的老外，美国女生 Ariana 曾经遇过不少的刁难。
I came here in March. The lofted floors are fantastic, but the stairs aren't suited for Ginger because she has a quirky body. I really like this one because I like the blue tile over here. This table moves, so if I want to watch Netflix, I just kind of push it this way. If I want to cook a bit and like prep stuff, I push it that way. There's a bench here, so I can use it as a desk.
We have 2 dogs on the 3rd floor, and I think the dogs like each other. So one time, one dog was barking from this side, and then the other dog was also barking, and they had a conversation. So it was a community for the dogs. There are 6 different types of apartment. The 3rd floor is more suited for women, and then the 5th floor is the cat life. So the bookshelf acts as the cat tower. 7th floor is the minimal life. I stayed there for 6 months from the very beginning.
缴纳房租、水电费，预约树屋里提供的健身课、美术课、电影，靠着手机就能完成。住在8层 loft 房型的小哥崔志雄，是一名房产 app 的程序员，他给我展示了怎么通过 app 玩转树屋公寓。
So this is for Treehouse especially. Of the 395 millennials that we surveyed, 75% preferred the loft type. The 8th floor is the Peak Life, which is a double height space. The first floor, he tends to do cooking or enjoy his hobbies. And on the second floor, he either uses the bed for resting, or he can also work on his laptop.
树屋公寓落成了1年，许多新租客变成了老租客。服装设计师朴兆炫不仅自己住在这里，还把常和自己一起工作的花艺师小伙伴田胜业也变成了这里的租客。
Hi.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
저 같은 경우에는 이제 일본에 있었어요. 누나가 좀 괜찮은 집이 있는데도 해서 그냥 정말 우연찮게 정말 이 캐리어 들고 여기 와서 투어하고 바로 계약했어요.
저희 팀도 같이 올 때가 있거든요. 이 건물을 활용해서 저희 스위트 룩북을 찍었어요. 만남의 장소는 보통 로비인 것 같고요. 네. 로비에서 뭐 또 먹고 차도 마시고 얘기도 많이 하고
이런 식물을 보면서 계절 지난 것도 보고 저도 그냥 맨 처음에 집 들어왔을 때도 이런 그냥 처음에 트리하우스 계약할 때도 그냥 그런 얘기를 했던 것 같아요. 이 나무들이 죽으면은 나도 이제 나가겠다라고. 대한민국의 많은 분들이 그럴 것 같아요. 저희는 굉장히 익숙함 속에서 살잖아요. 늘 같은 공간, 그리고 늘 만나는 같은 사람, 같은 일정 시간 안에서 갇혀 사는데 트리하우스에 들어와서는 새로운 사람, 새로운 공간, 그리고 새로운 대화 주제. 그게 장점인 것 같아요, 저에게.
So you also set up rules for living in this apartment building.
One example is, please don't hang your laundry on the rails of the atrium, or please don't smoke inside your rooms. Nobody has been kicked out, thankfully. It's a friend of mine who moved here, but she was saying when she's feeling alone, as soon as she opens the door, there are people in the living room. People are social animals. We encourage community even in the house. I think that will make a culture that bleeds into the rest of the city and how we deal with others too.
Okay, so I think you already watched the video. So you just open up the link and then do this quiz. All 5 questions, all related to the video one, and then related to what we learned today. Our goal of the project, purpose of the project, our definition and scope of the project, and then client strategic needs and want for the project. Okay, so you can rewatch the video. Okay, I will give you around 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You complete this form or you complete this quiz. Okay. So far I only have 19 response. Okay, so you try. Okay. See how much you can get. Any more response? By right should have 190 response mà. Đó. Okay, so make sure you scan your attendance. Okay, Joy Go, Khôi Dinh, An Chí. No, this one is last week. All right. Okay. Zheng Ping, Jie Xin, Zheng Wei, Sun Yanyin, Tu Ka Zhen, Wong Li Qing. Okay, make sure you scan your attendance. Okay. Okay, any more response? Because I want to discuss the answer already. If no more response, then we will start discussion. Okay. Okay, we will start discussion. Okay, first question. Is client brief important for project success? Oh, so 3 answer no. I'm not sure whether why you put no lah. Of course, client brief is important now for project success. Okay, this is our main topic today, am I right? Client brief. Okay, so the answer is yes. Okay. Okay, second one. What is the goal of this tree house project? The goal. Also, most of you get it correct. A, to build a co-living space. Or co-living space in Seoul. Okay. So 12% say it's co-working space. It's not co-working, it's co-living. Is they rent the space and then live there together. Okay. And then third one, what is the purpose of this project? Okay, to build a co-living space and community space for millennials. Is for millennials. If you look at the video, they say the survey is done for the millennials, right? Or the hotel, the co-living space owner, right? He said he done survey for the millennial. Meaning when he start to build this, when he want to, the starting of the project is memang she want it to be built for the millennials, or her targeted end user is a millennial, or it's not for old folks. It's not even for working adults, or because it's not a co-working space. Okay, so the answer is D, co-living space and community space for millennials. Okay, and then what is the definition and scope of this project? Or as mentioned, the owner of this building or the owner of this apartment, right? She already done a market survey. And then with the market survey, she is able to know what to be included in the project, or the needs and wants, as I say. On the needs and wants, the function, the project function. This is how she can define. She can define the project function, or define the scope of the project. Or she need a sharing laundry for the project, or sharing kitchen, sharing living room. Okay, and then sharing bathroom is not because it says they are very concerned on the sharing of bathroom. So you can see inside the video, most of the room have their own have their own bathroom. Okay, have their own bathroom. So the bathroom is not shared. Okay, so this is not the answer. Need green plants is one of it. Because you want to provide a good environment, a comfort environment for the tenants. Also, you need green plants. This is why in the starting of the video, she mentioned about the, the concrete depth. The concrete depth for the green plants is 660 centimeter. Okay, this is what he wants, what she wants for the project. Need green plants in the building. Okay, and then different types of apartment rooms. Because she studied already, 75% of millennial prefer loft room, right? And then you have someone who have a pet. Then she need to cater for that kind of tenant also. So that's why she provide a different level of the building. One floor is for women, one floor is for those with pet. Okay, one floor is for those who want to live in loft, right? And then you have other like maybe a smaller room. Okay, for affordable, for those millennials who have a budget, then they can live in the rooms with smaller space. Okay, so she want a different types of apartment room. Okay, and then sharing yoga center. Okay, one person put it in. Okay, good. All right, then this is basically the scope that we can see from the video. Okay, scope of project. Okay, what are the client's strategic needs and wants for this project? Or this question is asking you the strategic needs and wants. So is the project function? What is the client's project function? The function needed for the project. Also, you can see here, generation of project function, or needs and wants. Okay, and then is a strategic needs, strategic wants. So mostly is what is the organization or client needs or client wants. Okay, so that's why you must be able related to the space in the building. Okay, enhanced facility, yes, because you have like a yoga room, you have kitchen, right? Sharing kitchen, you have sharing laundry. So it's an enhanced facility for the tenant, right? For the tenant in the building. And then meet community needs. Or is like a sharing. Is like community space is like you have a meeting room, right? You have a whatever the furniture needed, right? Actually the client she got provide the full furniture, okay, so that the tenant just bring a suitcase come in only, then they can live in that space. Just bring a suitcase, or no need to bring their own furniture. Okay, and then ensure user comfort with the plant, okay, with the green plant, or with those system needed in the building. right? Aircon or fan, or etc. Okay, ensure privacy. That's why you have each room one person, and you have you don't have a bathroom sharing, right? So ensure privacy, and then and also different level. You have different tenants. Or like one level is just for ladies. One floor level is just for ladies. Is to protect the privacy of the ladies, right? And then you have creating pleasing environment. So you have lighting, you have better lighting, you have a green plant, right? And then the interior design in the building, right, is a pleasing environment. And then you have provide community space. Community space like just yoga center, like a living room, community space. So these are all the strategic needs and wants for the project. Okay, so as all of it. So from this video, I hope you understand what is the goal, what do you mean by purpose of the project, what do you mean by definition and scope of the project, and then what do you mean by strategic wants and needs, what do you mean by function of your project. This is how you understand a whole thing of the project. Okay. All right, so we done this quiz. We just done discussion on this quiz. So I shall proceed. I shall proceed with the lecture lah. Okay. Okay, so now is 10:20. Okay, should be can finish. Okay, by 11:15 or 11:20 lah. Okay. Okay, so we continue. Okay, so now we after all of the client briefing we mentioned, right? Now we go to the second subtopic. Is on the value study. Value study. So value management and value engineering. We know that we can actually have a different time whereby the VM can come in, right? We have this rebar plan of work. We have this rebar plan of work. So meaning anytime the VM can come in. But the earlier the VM come in, the VM study come in, the better. The better you have able to solve the issue earlier. Because by the time you go to technical design, too many things you have to change later on. As well, you do the VM study in the early space, early place, early stage, then less hassle behind, or less VO behind, variation order, less issue, cost overrun behind. Okay, that's why you have this so-called VM intervention point, or you so-called it as a value opportunity point. Okay, so it can be happen at any point during the project. Like I say, can be happen at any point of the project, but typically occur at strategic briefing, project briefing. Okay, concept design, and then you have a character study, a carrot study, and then detailed design, and then construction. So basically, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right, is mentioned here. One is strategic. One is strategic briefing. Okay, happen during strategic definition stage. Okay, and then you have a project briefing or project briefing. Strategic briefing is like a more towards client organization, the goal of the project, the earliest place why they want to start the development. That's why it's called strategic briefing. Okay, then you have project briefing. Or project briefing, meaning it's more detailed already, the purpose, the study, the feasibility of the project. So you have project briefing stage. Then you have concept design. Then you have CAREC study. So CAREC study is happen during this preparation and briefing stage and concept design. So these come in, CAREC study come in normally if this 1, 2, 3 is not conducted, or meaning the VM is not conducted during stage 1, stage 2, strategy briefing, project briefing, and concept design. So that's why CAREC study come in. To do the study for these 3. Okay, and then VM also can come in during this technical design and then construction stage. Okay, so these are the 6 VM intervention point, or you call it as value opportunity point. Or this is the stage where you can improve the value for the project. Okay, so it's just a stage, project stage like that. Okay, right. So we go to this study style, or North American value engineering study style. Okay, this one you just have to know what kind of study style you have in value engineering. It's not so, I cannot say it's not important. It's something, it's just like a basic knowledge you have to know, a basic one. Okay, CAREC study, or like I say, is a audit study, or is an audit study during this stage 1 here, preparation and briefing, or meaning project brief, then concept design. It happens here. Okay, and then you have second one is so-called 40-hour study. This is more common. This is more commonly used in value management study. 40 hours, so meaning like 5 days, or 1 hour, 1 day 8 hours. So this one is like 5 days VM workshop, or 5 days VM workshop. This is more commonly used, commonly study style, VM study style. Okay, and then you have third is value engineering audit. And then fourth is contractor change proposal. As you can see, like this one is like early stage of the project. This one is like something like during the design stage of the project, and then this one is also like design construction stage, and then this one is construction stage, whereby the contractor can propose changes for the project and then get some incentive out of it. Also, you have this 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and most commonly is this one, 40-hour study. Most commonly used, most commonly study style we apply is this 40 hours study. Okay. So first is CAREC study, and it is also called as hybrid study, or you can call it as an audit study. So what is it about? What is it about? So it's about value study that makes the pre-brief, brief, and concept design. Also the three stage, or the three stage, strategic brief, project brief, and then concept design. Okay, so they are studying on these three, meaning they study what are the past, what are the project brief, what are the design, what are the overall project concept, and then what are the overall space concept design part. Okay, and then you have this. It is the first VM intervention and is an audit of the progress on the project to date, and involve client, and then who have contributed to the brief and the full design team. Also, a carrot study is normally between client and then the full design team. And this is following a completion of the concept design. Cost plan is realized by client that project has lost focus, or the cost plan exceeds the budget significantly. So why this is coming? Or when the client realize after the architect, right, complete the concept design, actually its cost is exceeding the budget. So these carrots come in. And then it's an audit of the project brief and concept design. Meaning they will study what are the space in the building that, and then is it the space, the building area is too big? Is it building area too big? Is it any special space not needed included in the building? So is it anything wrong with the client requirement, which is not needed for the project? Also, that's why it's an audit. So they will basically do an audit to the project brief and concept design. Is it something wrong with the design? Is it architect have included extra space, there is the project space that is actually not needed but included. That's why it's cost plan exceed the budget. So this is so-called audit. Okay, and then it is examining the decision made earlier, or as I say, is a client give briefing, right? Or he mentioned what he wants, what he needs, but is it actually the project suitable or not? Or is it what client wants and need is unnecessary cost to the project? So it's examining the decision made earlier, or to validate those decisions and changes could be made during design development stage. So meaning carrot study comes in during early stage, and then audit done, or whether client briefing got problem or not, whether client needs and wants got problem or not, whether the concept design is it capture unnecessary design, unnecessary cost, unnecessary space, and then let the cost suit up. Or at the end, the purpose is to make sure the cost can go down, or changes can be made during design development stage, so that the budget clients can meet the project function. Client can meet the project function within the budget. Or many unnecessary costs removed, poor value item in the project removed. Then this is a so-called value study. Okay, so one of the study is called carrot study. Okay, and then happen during project brief and concept design. So the earlier value started coming, the earlier they can make changes, the earlier they can save cost. Save cost. Okay. Right. So we come to second one. 40 hours study. Like I say, it's 5 days or 8 hours per day, and it's normally happen during VM workshop. Is following a workshop stages of a job plan. Or you have pre-study you have a VM workshop and then you have a post-workshop right? So this 40-hour study is happen during VM workshop, starting from information phase, and then you have a creative phase, and then you have a evaluation phase, and then you have development, and then presentation. These 5 job plan, the VM workshop. Okay, so it is basically in this chart happen during this stage, 40 hours. 40 hours. Okay, 40 hours. And then basically it's continuous. It cannot be like Monday and then I continue my creative phase on next week and then evaluation on next week. Or it's not. It have to be continuous. Like if you start from Monday, you have to end on Friday. This is VM workshops. This one you will go through on week 5 onwards. Okay, in detail. This each phase here, you will go in detail. This is topic number 4 Topic number 4. Okay, so okay, so we roughly go through information, whereby you have to analyze information and then generate function. Like I said, function either is space, generate the function of space, generate the function of element, and generate function of component. This is important because you will basically, after you understand the project, understand the space, understand the element, then you can generate, or you can organize function and then brainstorm the solution. Meaning you propose material for the element. Either you change from floor tiles to concrete or cement screeding, or you change to carpet, something like that, or you change brick wall to cement brick to concrete block, or you propose a few choice. You propose a few choice. Clay brick, concrete block, cement brick, precast concrete, or like staircase or handrail. You propose different material, stainless steel or timber or glass. So this is creative phase. Then after that, evaluation or select best idea. So meaning you will use certain technique, or either you vote, either you use a tabulation to calculate the score, the highest score for best material, and then you begin outline development. Meaning if you finally you have the highest score is like you have the highest score is concrete block, let's say, or brick wall. You have concrete block, then you will start to define what is the advantages to use concrete block. What are the disadvantages to use the concrete block? This is development. Meaning you will prepare proposal of why you want to change from clay brick, let's say clay brick, to concrete block. So this is basically the workshop. And then presentation, finalize it. Meaning you will present the idea, present the proposal. Okay, present the proposal to the client. Then client, they will like, okay, go through your presentation, and then they will decide want to take your idea or not. So basically, this is whole VM workshop about. Okay. All right. So we go to next study, value engineering audit. Okay, value engineering audit. So this is happens during the parent company is requesting for a review of expenditure proposal submitted by a subsidiary firm or a local government agency. So meaning there is a request from one company. They want to do expenditure proposal review. Or it's like for example, airport. Sometimes they want to do renovation. Okay, they do renovation, and then there will be a few proposals. Or this proposal change from this design to this design. Or A design to B design. And then another proposal is A design to C design. So you have proposal A, proposal B. Okay, so you have different proposal. So value engineering audit will be coming, or will be asked to do which proposal is better, which proposal is more cost saving to the client. So this is somehow so-called value engineering audit. Okay, so it's a study of proposal made by a subsidiary of a large holding company for a vote of capital to fund a project. Or like say, hospital, the airport project. There is a proposed changes project, proposal A, proposal B. Okay, a study of the proposal, and then to do audit, and then to choose the best proposal, which is more cost saving to the client. So a study undertaken by a VE team in order to ensure that the parent company is receiving value for money. Okay. Okay, now we come to this contractor change proposal. This is another study, value study. Okay, so this one is merely if you have a design and build lah. Or let's say you have a design and build procurement, or a hotel. Let's say the project hotel, the client he used design and build procurement. So the design team and the contractor has his own in-house design team. Okay, so the client if he wish for cost saving, he will put a terms in the contract. Or say if the contractor can propose changes that is able to help the client save money or save the construction cost, then contractor can also get some incentive or bonus from it. Or let's say the hotel is 20 million construction cost. Contractor original the design is the original design for one element, for example, is 5 million. 5 million. So 5 million proposed changes end up is 9 million. So proposed changes end up is 4 million, and then you have 1 million saving. So from the 1 million saving, contractor maybe get 10%. So meaning he has 0.1 million in his pocket, contractor. Okay, so allow contractor to suggest changes to reduce construction costs, and the contractor receive a bonus. Okay, so this is particularly happens in like design and build procurement, or like a foreign country whereby they use a FIDIC contract or FIDIC contract. This is possible. Okay. Okay, so we basically these are the 4 value engineering studies down. Okay. So we go to this standard and procurement guidance. Also, so we know that different country have different standard and different guideline or different guideline for VM study. Meaning different country practice different, but somehow the concept is almost the same, or just the certain procedure or certain guideline is different only, but the basic is still the same. Okay, so you have UK and European, you have a Society of American Value Engineer. It's not South American, or last time I mentioned South American, it's Society of American. Okay, and then Australia, and then Malaysia. Okay, so I will just focus on Malaysia only. Or for UK, European, Australia, American Society of American Value Engineers, you can go through the attachment. In the Weibo, I got attached the attachment. Or you can just go through the process, the standard they use, the guidance they use are actually roughly the same. Or roughly the same. Or you can refer. So I will just focus on Malaysia. Okay, so in Malaysia, you have this Institute of Value Management Malaysia, or short form IVMM. IVMM. So you can go to this website if you want to have certain you want to see look see, you can go to this website. Okay, and then IVMM actually they have published currently they have published 2 books is a guidebook, or how do you practice, or how do you practice VM in Malaysia. Or for this book, National VM Guide, of course you have like the list of content. Of course you can see you have what is BP, value planning, value engineering, value analysis, and so on. And then what is VM? Or if you still remember, IVMM has one definition, right? On the VM, what is value management? Okay, then you have this process, VM study process. Okay, you have, like I say, you have pre-study, VM workshop, post-study. Okay, and then you have information, function, analysis, creative phase, this phase inside VM workshop. Okay, roughly the same. Actually, different country, they roughly have the same practice. Just maybe different terms only, different terms. Okay. And then another one, so this book is basically a national VM framework meaning this is, they are preparing a guidebook for Malaysia to use, of Malaysian who want to practice VM in Malaysia. Okay, and then opportunity of VM intervention. This is what we just now, the value opportunity throughout the life cycle of the project. And then also mention about the VM process, tool and technique used, and VM terms. Okay, so this is inside this book you can find. Because this book you have to buy one, it's not cheap. 30 ringgit per book. Then for, of course, this is last year. They come up with this book. This book is Value Management Competency Standards. This is for those who want to be a certified value manager. Those who want to be a member of this institute, then they need this book lah. How is a professional practice? What is the competency standard needed by this member, by a PM member, and then also value manager. Okay, so like what you can see from this list of content. And then basically this book outline the standards for PM competency, the rightful practice. It's just like QS one. QS has QS competency ma. So value manager, they have value manager competency. They need to follow. Or it's like rules and regulation. It's a rightful practice that need to be practiced. It's like the ethic part. Outline the qualification assessment criteria of the certification. Also for those who want to be a value manager or certified value manager in Malaysia, so they have to go through this book on value management competency standards. And then most required by members, and then certified value manager certification program. Or it's just like QS board has QS board standard, or QS rules act. Also IVVM also have their competency standard. Okay, so we go to this implementation of VM in public project. So of course VM also happen in as I say, a lot of JKR project, or they are applying value management study, or because it's government fund, meaning is a rakyat money also. So certain project, this is circular, meaning surat keliling by the government mentioned that any project that is amounting to 50 million and above, meaning any public project 50 million and above, they need to implement VM. They need to implement VM. Okay, so since 2009, this rule come up. Any public project more than 50 million and above need to implement VM. Okay, and then this is being superseded by the new 2015 circular, surat berkeliling. It's the same. It's just they improve a better version of the surat berkeliling only. So same. It just means any project, public project or program more than 50 million above need to have VM. Okay, so we know lah. Okay, so this is a book, a guidebook used by government, used by JKR. Okay, on the panduan pelaksanaan, meaning the guideline to implement the pengurusan nilai value management dalam program or project rakyat. So it's a guidebook, the public use, the government use for the government project. Okay, so you can see that it's almost the same. You have a nilai, value assessment, value engineer, you have value review, and then what is the process of VM they use. pre-workshop, workshop, and then you have post-workshop. Okay, and then in detail. So this is a guidebook for the public project. And then, of course, you may see different terms, or they use value assessment, but actually it's referred to value planning, or it's the same, or just different terms. Okay, and then you have value engineering. Okay, and then you have value review. This is what we learned previously. So for JKR, normally they will they apply value engineering because it's after the design out, right? Penyediaan cadangan berkarbontok is a design proposal. After the design proposal is out, so they will do the penilaian project, value evaluation using the value engineering. As you know, value engineering is happen during design, right? It's design stage. So JKR, they have their own value engineering guidebook. Okay, so this is the things they use, or value engineering guidebook for public project. Okay, and then outline the procedure of value engineering, and then set the standard of value engineering, and then practical reference to those intending to implement value engineering and for academic purpose. Also, mostly value engineering happens in public project with 50 million and above. Okay. All right. So this one. Okay. So this one is VM development in Malaysia. The timeline lah. You can see that in 1990s we already start to have VM in Malaysia. Or in 1990s, VM already appeared in Malaysia. And then in 1990s, the education, meaning like university already start to teach VM and then research on VM. So you can see a few journal paper is up since 1990s. Okay, and then but you can see that in 2000, only the IVVM is found on the institute. Actually quite late already a bit late for Malaysia. And then 2009, the Surat Pekeliling. I just now mentioned about Surat Pekeliling, right? 2009 and then 2015. Government start to have say any project, public project, 50 million above must have VM study. Okay, and then 2011, you have this book come out. This is shown previously. And then you have this 2013, you have JKL, they are using VE or value engineering. So they have a guidebook for value engineering. Okay, and then you have 2018 IVVM, IVMM, or IVMM, it's not IVVM, typo. Okay, IVMM, they have this book, guidebook, and then another competency standard come up, 2020. Okay, so basically a bit late I can say. You founded on 2000, and then after 18 years only you have this national VM guide, and then 2020 you have this competency standard. It's like 20 years already, then you have this standard. Okay, all right. So okay, some project in public project project A, B, C, D. This is just an example example. Okay, project implemented VE for higher education institution, or like university, local U, or like UTM, USM, or UPM, or all of these local university, or come out, right? So what approach can be used? Or meaning from the result of value study, okay, the approach they use are this approach. Okay, for rural bypass road, or meaning rural area punya jalan, or cost reduction, function increase. Or this is the sample from JKR, sample. Then project C, bridge over large span river, or use compound approach. Or this is the result. I mean, they apply this approach in their project for JKR. Okay, and then project D, new state hospital, cost reduction and then explain growth. Or of course, different project the can apply different approach. It's not like, it doesn't mean that university must use these three approach only, or bridge they use this approach only. This is from the result, this is from the experience, the outcome. This is the approach that they use. Okay, it's not fixed. It's not fixed. It depends on the project needs. Okay. All right. So okay, this is an airport project lah. Airport project. So Malaysia Airport Holding was the first organization to introduce its own guideline in implementing BM in 2008. Or as I said, the history guideline here, right? Although IBMM founded in 2000, but the guideline, there is no guideline. The guideline only comes out during 2018. And then government come out with their own guideline. That's why 2011 and then 2013. And then that time, Malaysian Airport still don't have guidebook, so they come out with their own guidebook 2008. That's why they have their own guidebook for the airport. Okay, so normally they set the rules lah. Any works above 300K, they will conduct BM study. For airport works, either they renovation or refurbishment or upgrading or any money used for the project above 300K, they will have to apply value management to make sure that the client, they are using the money wisely. Okay, so that's why you have this airport project, the KLA. Okay, this is one example. Okay, outcome of BM exercise for KLA retail. So like I said, they might have a few proposal. They might have a few proposal A, B, C, D, right? So at the end, which proposal have a higher cost saving will be choose. Okay. So during project brief, the objective are to increase the commercial revenue from 30 to 50%. This is one of it. And then increase the amount spending per passenger, limit the credit risk, maximize the retail space, improve retail management, improve retail and product placement to maximize sales. So this is clear. That's why I say a client briefing is important. With the client briefing, then architect know what to change. Interior design know how to put in their concept into the drawing. Okay, and then with the better client briefing, then they can provide what the client really needs and wants, and at the end, to make sure that there is no unnecessary item are included. Okay, and then this one is another project or upgrading project in KLIA, upgrading of washroom. Okay, enhancement of washroom. Or if you have ever been to airport, the KLIA, the toilet, the washroom, you know that there is they have to upgrade from time to time, especially the toilet. Because if you have a toilet used for 10 years, you have to upgrade it. The tiles, the wall tiles, the floor tiles, the wash, the sanitary fittings, all have to change. So they have to make sure the money is used wisely. So the client objective to upgrade is to minimize order in line with cost, enhance the image of airport itself. Also, they have to do something to the system, the washroom system. Or maybe they need a system that is they have to suck out the audio from the washroom. So it will have some cost on that, right? So they might have to provide air refreshener or hygienic being, or introduce curve railing, right? Or meaning like for OKU friendly, enhance the image of airport. Okay. All right. So basically, we finish topic number 2. Topic number 2. Okay. So we finish our lecture class early today. Any question from you all? So next week will be Mr. Lee coming. Surveyor Lee Ziqian will come in. Continue with topic 3 and 4. Next week is not me anymore. Okay, will be Surveyor Lee. So any question for the lecture? No, no question. I know some of you 11:30 have a FYP talk, right? FYP2 talk, right? The Dr. Cha Fat Choi, or 11:30. So make sure you attend now for those who are taking FYP2. Okay, so I think we end our lecture. Make sure you scan your attendance.